Hey folks, Dan Frio here with your opening bell for August 18th, 2025. So on the economic calendar today, there is absolutely nothing, and I'll show it to you. If you go to the economic calendar, there is nothing for Monday. So Tuesday's when starts basically the news when it comes to real estate. So I thought I'd start out this morning with giving you the headlines. Dow Jones and basically all the indices across the board are flat as a pancake. We got the bond market flat as a pancake, actually at zero. So what's actually happening and what should we be concerned about this week? So folks, without further ado, let's get to it. So my name is Dan Frio. I'm actually a federally licensed mortgage loan officer. If you're new to my channel, then that's what I do for a living. And that's why, folks, I do this report each day to help you guys understand what's going on with those and the whys behind it. So today we really don't have any news on the economic agenda, but we want to focus in on is what was coming down the pike the rest of this week. But I don't know if you guys saw it. Over the weekend, there was major announcements with the United States and Russia. Okay, they're saying, okay, there's peace talks in there. Did you even get where even Putin said the Russian whole thing was a hoax? I don't know where that's going to bring us politically, but it's pretty bad when they come out and say, even the counter person that it was against saying, I knew it was a hoax at the time. So we're going to see how all this plays out, folks. So no, don't say Mega Dan, because if this was against the other side of the equation, I'd be doing the exact same thing. So we really need to focus in on the legitimacy of our government as well as the elections and everything else. That's all I'm going to say on that part of it. So you go over to the markets, and here's what we're seeing for today, folks. You go across here, and I usually say when the markets are doing really well, it's a Cinderella story. If it's not doing well, it's not a Cinderella story. But today, let's look at it. You got the Dow Jones, the S&P, the NASDAQ, all, I'll say nothing, 0.0 something adjustment. So really nothing going on across the board through there. When you got oil, I'm still giving oil a double thumbs up. When you're below $65 a barrel, this helps inflation tremendously. Okay, and then you get to the 10-year Treasury, and it's down 0.01. So the markets are flat as a pancake. Why? Well, there's really no economic news. So what's happening right now, Treasury yields dip as traders gear up for Federal Reserve minutes. So what's happening at the later part of this week? You're going to hear Federal Reserve minutes, and those are coming. Where are those? Oh, here they are. Right there here on Wednesday. That's the news coming out. So while we're here at the economic calendar, let's just conclude with this. Let me show you what's coming down the pike that should we be concerned about? Is it a non-event? Let's go through the items that we're going to see this week, and then each day as it comes out, I'll show you what it did, how those numbers came out, and how it affected the markets as we see them go through. So on Monday, there's nothing. Okay, now on Tuesday, here's some of the data that we're going to look at, but I don't think it's really going to upset the markets. When you have building permits, housing starts, and then housing starts month over month, I don't really think those are going to upset the markets. This will tell us how housing is going. Are builders a little more active now with building? Are they slowing down? This is a big piece of the housing market, folks. Then we're going to get right through here. The Federal Reserve, Bowman speaking, right through here. And the Atlanta Fed's GDP quote. Okay, so that's what we're getting tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, here's what people are saying they're waiting for. The FOMC meetings or minutes. Here's the interesting thing about this thing. If you go over to the minutes, and where is that news? I think I grabbed it. Right through here. Treasury yields dip as traders gear up for, but there was more into this comment. Right down through here, here's what I want you guys to see. This was the first meeting in which multiple governors voted against the final decision since 1993. Both Michelle Bowman and Christopher Waller both voted in favor of rate cuts. So now two Fed officials, and then there's another third one being added. Will they be added before the next September Fed meeting? Well, that's what we're looking at, because that could be three dissenters from the Federal Reserve's meeting, and I think at this point they're all going to cut. So we're going to go over and see what the odds are of a Fed cut here shortly. But let's go back to the economic calendar, because I want you guys to understand this week and why you might be in a position to maybe lock, float going into these dates. So that's what we're seeing on Wednesday. So here's what we're looking at. Federal Waller, he's speaking. There's going to be a 20-year bond auction. This is going to tell us the direction of where yields are going to get rid of the national debt. Then down through here, we have Jackson Hole. Now, this meeting right through here, what this is it's financial leaders all over the world. European unions, everybody is going to go to this thing. We're going to focus in on how does Federal Chairman Powell talk? Does he talk as in a dovish tone, or does he come back saying, you know what, folks, we're not going to do anything until the tariffs get resolved? That could be a market mover. So we're going to see what the Federal Chairman says on Wednesday at Jackson Hole. And then we're going to continue to get the rest of the data every Thursday. We get initial jobless claims and continued jobless claims. We're going to focus in on those to see, are people still losing their jobs rapidly? And are they able to find a job back? That's the biggest concern I have at this point. And then we're going to go down through there. Servicing PMI is going to tell us a little more about where inflation is. Then we're going to get existing home sales. This is going to tell us how, are people still buying? And I can tell you on our side of the fence, it is busy as all get out. Between refinances and purchases, folks, we're hitting record numbers right now. We're trying to keep up. So if you put in your application, bear with us. We'll get to you as quick as we possibly can. And then here, you're going to see Jackson Hole. What is that? Okay, again, it's where all the grand poobahs of all the financial banking systems meet, and they tell us what they're going to do. So that's coming out on Thursday. And then on Friday, we have federal chairman speaking. We're going to pay attention to what he has to say because he will move the markets. And then really nothing else. Again, Jackson Hole will get a summary of that. So that's really, other than the Federal Reserve news or what they're going to hopefully tell us on Thursday and Friday, we're going to look at initial jobless claims and basically how the housing market looks this week. We go over to the Federal Reserve. What do they monitor? They monitor these things right here, folks. And the reason why I bring this up every day is I want you guys to see where the federal funds rate is with the federal. This is what the Federal Reserve controls. Here's the numbers that they focus in on. They were created actually for two reasons. They have two mandates. That was for full employment, and that's on the job side, and then keeping prices stable, and that's on the inflation side. So this is what they focus in on. They try to keep inflation at 2%, and they try to keep unemployment at full employment. Well, 4.2 and 4.1 is full employment. So when you have a 3% GDP going right now, you have a 4.2 on an unemployment. If you can bring that inflation down to that 2% sweet spot the Federal Reserve wants, it's going to be nothing but thumbs up. So that's what we're focusing in on right now. So what's the Federal Reserve expected to do at the next meetings? Well, this was a 99% chance last week. Let's see if the probability is still way up there for the Federal Reserve to be cutting at the next meeting. I hate when this does it. Let's refresh it. And all you have to do is go to the CME FedWatch group. You're going to go down, and I want you to hit probabilities. It's going to go over here. Now, the probability is there is an 85% chance the Federal Reserve is going to cut at the September 17th meeting. This was 99% last week, folks. So we're going to continue to watch this. I don't think anything really changed that would change the mind of the Federal Reserve other than tariffs, and we don't really have a lot of tariff news in the news right through here. We do have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is plummeting down to about 115 now. Yes, I said plummet. It was at 120, 121. When it dropped $6,000, $7,000, I'm going to say plummet because I have the right to do so. Just kidding. But I might be looking in buying a little more of this every time it goes down to 115, 116. I look to add to this stake, and we talk about this on Stock Talk Tuesday. So join me tomorrow so you can understand stocks, bonds, cryptocurrencies, and the works. Last but not least, let's go to the earnings calendar for the week. There's really nothing here, folks. That's why we did it over the last 2 weeks, because the most, basically the S&P 500, most of those companies were coming out with their forecasts or their financials last week and the week before. We went through those each day, but here's what we got today. We have PANW, not really quite sure what that is, and it is earnings report after the close. So that's all for today. We got Home Depot, Medtronics tomorrow, so that's going to give us a little bit of an idea how the home improvement person's doing. Then on Wednesday, look what we got on Wednesday. Target, TJ Maxx, Lowe's. So that'll also give us a beat on where the consumer is. And then what do we got on Thursday? We got Walmart's and Intuit. I don't think that's going to... Well, it's going to be a week of telling us what the consumer's doing. Are they moving from Target to Walmart? It's an interesting week, folks, actually, if you dig into it. So we will focus in on these earnings because people buying at Home Depot, that's usually home improvement stuff. But a lot of people are buying their consumer goods, groceries, getting back to school. Where are they buying this year? Are they moving from Target to Walmart, Walmart to Target? Going to be interesting. So let's see how the average consumer is going. But for today, folks, here's what we got. Don't really think anything's going to go on with mortgage rates because still right now during this whole video, the MBS market is still at zero. So nothing really predicted in the rates for today because really, folks, there's no economic news. So stay steady. If you're out there trying to monitor today where rates are going and put yourself in a good position, might be a good day to do that and reach out to us, because I want to show you just a few things that we have on our website. So let me get over to what I do for a living, folks. So if you like watching my videos each day, let me let you know what I do for a living. So my name is Dan Frio. I'm actually a mortgage loan officer. I've been in this business for over 35 years. And the good news here, if you'd like to put my experience to work for you guys, you can. I'm licensed in all 50 states as well as Puerto Rico. Folks, I work at a bank, and it's a bank and trust that gives me license throughout the entire country. The unique thing about our bank is, well, if we weren't a bank, I'd say we're a large brokerage, because we're set up with over 33 different lenders to help make sure you guys are getting the best rates and lowest fees in town. So check out our website. It's therateupdate.com. Let me go through real quick with you guys what's on this screen, because there's more than what the average basically site has. When you go through this, if you want to reach out to us, that's the first thing I want you guys to understand. Go up through here. You're going to give us a call. You're going to call in, and you're either going to talk to me or Alan. Okay, that's basically who's going to answer the phone. If you ask a question to Dan, it'll be me answering that question. Now, let's get over to some of the features we have here. If you have a ton of equity in your house, folks, and you're like, how do I get to that equity without refinancing my 2 or 3% rate? We have a 5-day HELOC. If you're looking for a fast HELOC because you need the money fast, click right through here. It's going to walk you right through it. But let's say you're looking to buy right now. What should you be looking to do? Well, you should be looking to do things like this. Take advantage of these programs like this. This is a down payment assistance program that'll give you up to $7,000 with no strings attached. What do I mean by that? There's no payments on it. You don't have to pay it back. There's no lien. It's basically free money. You walk out of the closing, you do not owe any of it back. That's just one of the features we have. You're looking to refinance? Well, check out this button right here. It doesn't really explain to you what refinancing it is. It's allowing you to tell me what rate you want to refinance. So let's say you're at 7.5, and you're like, Dan, when these things hit 6.5, well, they are. Well, let's say you're in 7.25, and when rates hit 6.25, you want me to let you know that they're there. We'll just go here, click the refinance button. What you're going to do is you're going to tell me exactly that. You're going to say, Dan, here's my mortgage now. Here's the rate, and here's the kind of loan it is. When it hits, 1% lower, let's say, than I currently am, let me know. Let's kick the tires, see if there's a savings there, and if there is, we're going to lock it in and get the paperwork started. Last but not least, if you've already done that, let's say you've already shopped around and you think you've done fantastic, but now it's like, okay, Dan, you can review over 30 different lenders, so can I get involved? Well, yeah, you can. Just go to the loan estimate review tab right through here. You're going to click that, and you're going to upload your loan estimate. Here's what we're looking for. Can we save you money on your fees? Can we save you money on your rate? Because if we save you money on both of those, I'm hoping you're going to switch over to me as your lender, because why would you continue to go down the same path when you know you can save money on the fees and the rate? So to find out all this stuff, folks, just like I said, visit me at therateupdate.com. Give us a call or just shoot me an email right through here. Love to be able to help you navigate if you're looking to buy, refinance, or just have some questions. So thanks for watching, folks. I will be back later with the closing bell to let you know how this mess ends for the day. So thanks for watching. If you need some assistance, please reach out to us. We'd love to help. Have a good one, folks. See you next time. Bye-bye.